Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Rahmawati Junita. I am student of Pancasakti University. I am from English Education Program. I want explain the material of Introduction to Linguistics. Okay. The first is definition of semantic. Semantic is the study of meaning that is used to understand human expression through language. Semantic is perhaps the most difficult part of language to learn. The reason is because basically meaning in a language are indefinite or undermined. And remember that language is arbitrary, one of the characteristics of language. It is arbitrary because relationship between forms and their meanings are sometimes cannot logically proved. Although a form can have more than one meaning, there is always a primary or original meaning is expressed. The original meaning of a form in a language is normally called denotation. Besides, there are additional meaning which is known as connotation. Normally, a person expresses a connotative meaning through a word, phrase, clause of sentence beside on certain characteristic of the entity or even that he or she is referring to. Next is definition of denotative and connotative. Definition of denotative is the denotative of a word is the core, central of referential meaning of the word found in a dictionary. In English, a consonant word may have its denotation described in terms of a set of semantic features that serve to identify the particular concept associated with the word. And definition of the connotative is the connotative of a word is the additional meaning that the word has beyond its denotative meaning. It shows people emotion and or attitudes toward that what the word refers to. Next is primary meaning and secondary meaning. The primary meaning of a word, or to be more precise, a lexical item, is the first meaning of usage that the word will suggest to most people when it is said in isolation. The example is the sentence wing. The primary meaning is either of the pair of feathered limb that a bird used to fly. B. Secondary meaning of a word are the meanings beside its primary meaning. They are said to be not central but peripheral. In addition, secondary meanings of a word are context-bound, whereas its primary meaning is not. Example is, he usually plays on the wing. The wing means in this side part of the playing area in football, soccer, etc. Secondary meaning is derived from the context denoted by the fair play. The last is literal and figurative meaning. Literal meaning, the basic or usual meaning of a word, is the usually referred to as its literal meaning. Example is the sentence wing. Part the project from the side of an aircraft and support it in the air, the two wings of an airplane, and part of a building that projects from the main part, the east or west wing of a house. And figurative meaning. Figurative meaning is a word, is one which is different from its usual literal meaning and which create vivid mental image to readers or listeners. Example is sentence wing. We hope college life will help him to spread his wing a bit, extend his activities and interests. Having a new baby to look after has clipped her wings a bit, has prevented her from achieving her ambition. Next material is pragmatics. Pragmatics is the study of how context contributes to meaning. The field of study evaluates how human language is utilized in social interaction, as well as the relationship between the interpreter and the interpreted. The theories of pragmatics go hand in hand with theories of semantics, which studies aspects of meaning, and syntax, which examines sentence structure, principle, and relationship. The ability to understand another speaker's intended meaning is called pragmatics. This is an example illustrates pragmatics in use in everyday conversation. The example is, how are you? This everyday greeting is really met with a response that involves discussing every medical and personal detail that may affect how the person is feeling on a given day, which will make up a literal response to the question. Instead, you make response to the question with, fine, how are you? This would be a pragmatic response since you are making a presupposition that the speaker's intention was for the question to be an implied greeting and not a literal question about how you are doing at the exact moment. And the last material is syntax. Definition of syntax is knowing a language includes the ability to construct phrase and sentence out of morphemes and words, and the part of the grammar that presents a speaker knowledge of this structure and their formation is called syntax. In other words, syntax is the study of sentence pattern of language, and the aim of this study is to show you what syntactic structure is and what the rules that determine syntactic structure are like. And syntax category is a set of words and or phrase in a language which share a significant number of common characteristics. And syntax category is one part of speech is determine, adjective, noun, pronoun, preposition, adverb, auxiliary verb. 2. Phrase structure grammar is noun phrase, adjective phrase, verb phrase, adverb phrase, and preposition phrase. And sentence as the core of the structure. And next is type of phrase. A phrase is a sequence of words or a group of words arranged in a grammatical construction and functional as a unit in a sentence. A noun phrase is refers to a phrase that builds upon a noun which functions as the head word of the phrase. Next is adjective phrase. is refers to a phrase that modifies a noun. It builds upon an adjective which functions as the head word of the phrase. Next, a verb phrase refers to a phrase that composed of at least one verb and the dependent of the verb, in which the verb functions as the head word of the phrase. Next, adverb phrase refers to a phrase that often plays the role of telling us when, where, why, or how an event occurred, in which the adverb functions as the head word of the phrase. Next is preposition phrase. Refers to a phrase that begins with a preposition, in which the preposition functions as the head word of the phrase. And the last is phrase structure tree, also called constituent structure tree. Is a tree diagram with syntax category information provide. A phrase structure tree show that a sentence is put linear string of words and in hierarchical structure with phrase nested in phrase or combination of phrase structure. And this is a example, the syntax example. In sentence, the boy and the girl ate their tea. The is determined and noun phrase. Boy is noun phrase. And is conjunction, noun phrase. Sentence, that the determined, noun phrase. Girl, noun phrase. At verb phrase. Sentence, their determined, noun phrase, verb phrase, and tea, noun phrase, verb phrase, and sentence. Okay, that example from syntax. Okay, maybe not from me. If you found many mistake in my speech, please forgive me, and thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.